Welcome everyone to Digital Society School Showcase. This is the first showcase we have organized this year of 2025, and I'm very excited for you to discover what we have preparing in our clubhouse. And today we also give the opportunity to the trainees that follow the traineeship program during the semester to present their project through the use of booths that are present throughout the showcase. So today we will walk around and learn more about their experience as trainees and the project that they have presented today. Could you state your name and the name of your team, please?
I'm Bruno and our team is Amstelding.
Great. So what is the concept of your project?
It's about creating more sustainability for the elders, and the focus was on paper waste, so reducing paper waste.
What is one element that you really love about the showcase and you're excited for the visitor to discover today?
Like my specific booth, or just I like that there's a bit of like an unexpected element at the beginning. You don't really know which side you're gonna, because our booth is split up into two sides, so you don't really know which section you're going to go into. And I like that like little aspect of maybe surprise or something like that.
Hello, we're there to interview you guys. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit more about the concept of your project?
The concept of our project is to change the mindset of the people. We want to participate in that change for people to rent instead of buying.
Oh, okay, I see a lot of preparation. That's really nice. You also have a brochure. Okay, what's in the brochure?
The brochure just like very quickly sums up our website, a link to it, what clothing we have, and a very quick summary of what we're doing.
Oh, that's really nice. And on the brochure, I see someone posing. Is that someone from your team?
That's my team member.
That's really nice. Did you organize a photo shoot for the showcase?
Yeah. We went to the stock that our partner gave, and yeah, we shot this there.
Hello guys, may I know more about what you're organizing right now? Could I ask you for your name and your team name?
Okay, my name is Aiko Tadokoro and our team is Faipelo.
Okay, nice. Can you tell us a little bit more about your project? What was the challenge that you were trying to focus on and what solution you came up with?
Okay, so Faipelo is a broadcast media company in the Netherlands, and they want to stimulate the workers in there to work more sustainable, and that is the main purpose of this project.
As you can see, we are working very hard here at Digital Society School to create a fantastic experience for you, our visitors. Everyone is more than welcome to our showcases to discover more about innovative ways to make an impact on society. It is absolutely wonderful to bring together this community of passionate people, and we are definitely looking forward welcoming you in our clubhouse. This is Anastasia, creative technologist and game designer at Digital Society School. And now, let's get started with the showcase.
Woo! Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Digital Society School Showcase. Woo! My name is Marco van Hout, and I'm one of the co-founders of Digital Society School, and I'm very proud and very happy to be here in the new year with a new group of people, with this new amazing event that we set out for you, and we hope you will enjoy it very much. It is a very special edition because it's my 22nd of this kind of event that I'm hosting. It's a lot, So I thought it was beautiful because it's the 22nd on the 22nd. So welcome to this magical magical day. I'm hosting not alone. I do this with Ivana. Who's
Hello,
also
everyone.
here.
Mine is only fourth, so I'm not here for that.
And we do it fourth time together right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
This is my fourth showcase, and we did it already for 4 times.
Yes.
Welcome, everyone. Before we officially start with the talk show, there are, of course, some house rules that I would like to share with you as well. So first and foremost, you all received a name tag in some shape or form. So before you leave, please return it, because we would like to exchange it for a little token of appreciation. So by the end of the showcase, you will see it, a little box at the entrance. So please leave it there and get a little card from us. Then the second thing is that there are food and drinks at the front. They're all prepared for you. So please don't be shy. Approach those tables, grab whatever.
We're not throwing away
Yeah,
anything.
exactly.
So.
We would not like to waste anything. So help yourselves to all of those nice treats. Then we have a photographer present in our space, and we are going to take a lot of different photos to keep this moment in history, of course. But if you do not want to be present in those shots, please let us know. We would like to respect your privacy. You can approach me at the end of the talk show, and I will make sure that we respect your right to not to be shown online in any shape or form. And then finally, our event is located in this wonderful clubhouse of the SS. Our teams, all of the teams have their own booths around the space. On the pillars behind me, you will see the floor map. So if you want to know where to go, you can just check the floor maps there or through the QR code on your name tags. So just go there, check it out, where to find the booths. The SS is also having 2 booths as a part of the expo too. So one of them is at the stage area. So that's a more general DSS booth. And then my teammates from Creative Technology team also have their own booth that is a little bit more playful and experiential behind me, in the room behind me. So please visit those as well. Marco.
Yeah, thank you, Ivana. So also welcome home. We are actually streaming live on YouTube. So hi, everybody. Hopefully you will also enjoy it. You can chat also with each other over there. And if you have any questions, we have people ready to actually answer your questions. But without further ado, I mean, I have to also explain where you are and what you're doing here, right? What is DSS? It's a good question. It's a very good question. And we have a lot of meetings and sessions that we spend on that. What is DSS and what do we say about DSS? How do we explain it to our grandmothers, right? Well, even to our siblings. It's difficult to explain, but this is what it is. You, in this space, what Anna also mentioned, innovation, design, technology for social challenges, transformational challenges that we work on together with the industry, with organizations that want to sponsor us and also are curious to learn about transformation and how to design for transformation. That, in a nutshell, is DSS. And you will experience that also when you visit the booths. You will see what it is and what makes it tangible, right?
Feel it, touch it, see it.
Touch it, don't be
Play
shy.
with it.
It's actually very important. Anna is a creative technologist. She already mentioned, we are really trying to make things tangible here. We're prototyping, we're experimenting. And these are not final products. These are prototypes to be touched. And what we also touch is people. What you usually hear when people gone through this experience is that they have transformed themselves. Not sure if that's correct. I see you smiling. But in a few months, you will come back and say, hey, this has transformed me in one way or the other. And that's what usually happens. And the same goes for the partners. It's not about the prototype anymore at one point. It's about learning together, meeting people from all different cultures, all different walks of life that work together on these transformational challenges and do that through a certain very specific process that we call transformation design. This space is open for you to enjoy. And also, we are now creating first and foremost a space to talk about the topic that we want to discuss with you as well. So we have a catch box over there that we will throw at certain times when you want to make a comment or you have a question. So don't be shy there as well. Just raise your hand if you want to say something. It's intimate enough, right? Okay. Without further ado,
Yeah,
let's
you
go
already
dive into the topic, right?
I mean, first, you already mentioned that it's all about the people. DSS is all about the learning community that we are building together. And at the showcase, for us, it's a perfect opportunity to bring everyone to reconnect with each other. There are a lot of familiar faces, former partners, alumni here, former teammates as well, also current ones, of course, and potential. So before we even start discussing the topics we prepared, it would be great to see who is in the space.
Good one. Yeah.
So I would like to ask you to all take your phones out of your pockets and enter
Only
the
for this occasion.
Booklab website. Only right now you're allowed to do that. So you can scan
You know the drill. Just scan the code.
yeah, scan a QR code or enter the event code that you can see on the screen. I'll give you a minute to do that.
Should we turn the screen, guys? For
No. So if you need an event code, it's XLBIHP.
And that's also possible.
Yeah, so if you cannot scan a QR code, you can also enter through the code. The event code is XLBIHP. All right. I see the number is growing. It's still growing.
It's saying there's no vote in progress at the moment. Do you want to?
That's all right.
Okay, cool.
First, we'll get everyone to register. I like your proactivity. Please keep it. All right. Let's give it maybe like 30 seconds more, and then we'll move on. Lovely. I always like the name of this.
This is a process that can still be improved, right? I mean, let's design something for this.
All right.
All right.
Let's move on. So, the first question is pretty obvious, right? So, who is in the crowd? Which category do you belong to? There are a couple of them.
And some you only know when you are in that category.
That is very true.
Transformation owner. That's interesting.
Yeah, if you were part or are part of our transformation leadership program, mentored a team in the past, that's the category you belong to.
Yeah,
All right. Slowly growing.
pretty interesting.
Yeah. I love that we have so much of the extended community.
Yeah.
It means that we touch upon very many different people.
Yeah, it's really inside out. Eh? So we have
Yeah.
people from inside and from outside.
Yeah. Huh. I see that a lot of people have not made up their mind yet. No. So,
I think we kind of know the balance here, right?
yeah, and what is nice to know that our traineeship, for example, takes place twice a year. So over the past 8 years, 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years, we had more than 500
7.5-ish.
people that passed through the traineeship. So our trainee community is quite extensive. All right.
All right.
Let's move on.
Let's go to the next question.
Why are you here? What brought you to the showcase?
There's a lot of support going on. Yeah.
I guess our part is not very
Yeah,
interesting.
they're not saying to support the people on stage.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Not for the
as well.
talk show, definitely not. Oh, thank you.
I need some support right here.
That's like a sympathy vote.
Cool.
Wonderful.
So, but nobody's here for this hour. Okay. Just a few people.
Maybe today we are going to change a lot of minds.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Next question.
So the next question is a little bit more thought-provoking. Maybe you will need more time to think about it. So what's the last thing you made? And indeed, it can be an interactive thing, something tangible. Maybe you build your own kitchen. Who knows?
I tried that the past week.
So, yeah, it's very much an open-ended question. We are curious what you are all busy with.
Let's see. A painting. Oh, that's nice also, yeah. Pizza. Like that one. Whoa, this is dinner, of course.
Ooh.
Wasn't there a less chaotic option in this?
I love actually that it's so dynamic.
Podcast. I see a lot of people. Dreams. Can you make those? Nice.
Wow.
We should save this some
Yeah,
way.
definitely.
Okay, when it stops, we can read a few out loud.
Yeah.
Origami, love. Oh, okay. Get the catch box, please. So we can ask a few questions. Data, warm soup, dinner, those things you can. Legos. Is that you, Eloy? My son is here. He loves Lego.
Is there anyone that would like to share
Yeah.
anything about their creation?
Or someone we can pick out.
Yeah. If there are no volunteers, I guess.
Someone made a floor. I want to hear the person who made a floor. You made a floor. What happened?
Wait.
Yeah, we moved to a new place and we needed to laminate the floors, so we fixed it if that's considered.
You have to throw the catch box. Yeah.
It's too late. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do it with the next.
So you laminated it, but you didn't have to fix. You have to fix this as well.
Well, I consider it as fixing if that's what making.
Putting layers on top,
Yeah.
indeed, hiding things that are underneath.
It's a lot
Great.
of planning.
And someone also made pizza. Who made pizza? Several people, right?
I'm actually more curious about the podcast. The topics
Oh,
of
yeah.
the podcast would be super cool
Where's that one?
to
Over here.
learn about.
These are more people because it's larger.
Yeah, exactly. Does
Who made a
anyone want-
podcast?
I made a podcast.
You made a podcast.
The proactive one.
I made a podcast today about colonization.
Ooh.
I'm from Australia. It's a big deal.
Where can we tune in?
It's not up yet.
Okay. The moment it is, let us know.
Yeah.
We can be your little platform.
Who else? More people with podcasts?
It's all right.
Yeah. Okay. You just clicked 3 times to have this opportunity to.
It's for the exposure.
Yeah, of course. All right. Perhaps we can move on.
Yeah.
Or you want to pick one more?
Well, the last question is very much obvious. So now that we know who is in the crowd, what's the space that we are in, it's time to finally get started. Yes?
Let's do it.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
So I think we already mentioned a little bit that there are a lot of things that we make, right? And in the previous editions of the showcase, we tackled other topics like hope and wonder. And you might be thinking, why am I mentioning those? Well, because we all start with hope for the better futures, positive outcomes, that our innovations will reshape the world around us. And wonder is that one concept that makes us want to touch those stars in the sky, those what ifs that start tackling our mind a little bit. But while we can keep on hoping and waiting for tomorrow, wonder is one thing that also pushes us to start acting today. However, it's not always easy to start acting. There are problems that are also difficult to wrap our minds around, problems that we do not know the cause of, we do not know how to even grasp them or start tackling them. These are so-called wicked problems. The slippery ones, that are so difficult to just grab and just provide solutions to. And sometimes it's also not possible with more conservative problem-solving techniques. And this is where the maker culture and critical making come into place. They represent that profound shift from passive hoping to active doing.
Yes.
And we are not only creating objects with maker culture, we are creating possibilities. And some of you might be thinking, I'm not a maker. I'm not a creative person. I might fail. But here's the truth. Making is not about perfection. It's not about producing something that has no flaws or whatsoever. It's about being brave enough to try. And every failed solution or suggestion is a lesson. It's a learning for us, an opportunity to learn something new. Critical making takes it even further. And it's not just about creation for creation's sake. It's about sparking conversations. It's about challenging assumptions and maybe make people think differently about the world around us. It's even more important when you work across different disciplines. Bridging the divide among those becomes way simpler when you have something more tangible in front of you that you can start discussing. And consider the impact those simple solutions can have, how they can spark those transformations. We are not just making things, we are making change. And every time we prototype, iterate, we not only learn about the things we make, we learn about ourselves and about our potential to bring change into the world. So, yeah, because the world is not only for those who just hope for it.
Yeah.
The world belongs to those who dare to make it. And this is exactly what the Digital Society School wants to highlight today, what we are all about as well. In our traineeship program, our trainees know and can confirm probably, every sprint, they have to deliver a prototype or a conversational object to spark those conversations with their partner. And it's not always a successful one, but it helps to narrow down the problem. It helps to eliminate those unnecessary questions and also just remove the uncertainties to actually come up with a solution that matters. So let's talk a little bit more about this maker culture. What is that critical making? How can we all be part of it?
Yes, but we're not going to do that alone, right? So we're not going to talk anymore because we talk a lot. We have in the audience somewhere, let's see, Anneke van Woerden. I would like to invite Anneke to the stage. Oh, sorry, the handhelds are over there. We should actually provide you with that. Sorry. Are they on? Work? Yeah, okay, cool.
Hello.
Anneke is well, you have to present yourself also. You have been part of the DSS. Perhaps you can briefly introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's wonderful to be back again.
Yes, welcome back.
I don't have the years in my head, but I've been part of DSS a while ago. Collaborated very much with Marco also on one of the initiatives called the Global Goals Jam, and had a very interesting, learningful, impactful, lovely time here. So it's always good to be back. Yeah.
Thank you.
Want more? No.
Yeah, no,
For
that's
now,
fine.
That's good, right?
You presented yourself. And then the next one is Olivier Oskam. For you, the same question. Just briefly introduce yourself. Briefly introduce yourself.
Oh, I am Olivier Oskamp and I work at the Makers Lab downstairs. Yeah, and I've been a maker for a long time.
That's why you're on that chair.
Making things.
Yeah. Cool, thank you. Welcome also.
Nutshell.
And next up is Ocean. Ocean Konijn. It's not... It's not that she is more popular, but I mean, she works with all these people. So, Ocean, can you also briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. My name is Ocean. I'm the head of programs here, and I've had the pleasure to work with all these lovely people and create a lot of stuff over the past months. And before that, I was a partner at the research and prototyping studio. So prototyping is a little bit in my blood.
Awesome. Well, I just want to ask you all an opening question. We talk about maker culture, critical making, but for many people that's also like a bunch of like words, right? So what does it mean for you? What would be your definition, Anneke, of what maker culture is?
When I think of critical making, it's the first thing that comes to mind is that thing of like falling in love with the problem, sticking with the problem, sticking in the challenge, and making something that's about the challenge and not jumping to solutions.
Yeah.
So I think, and the critical part is part of what that object, that tangible thing, does. It generates questions, it generates new challenges. It might give answers, but not the answer that you're looking for. Yeah, so it's I think that's
Nice.
the thing,
Okay.
first thing that comes to mind.
Is that similar for you, Olivier?
Yeah, I would say that. That is similar for me, but funny to hear your own voice. Yeah, I think mainly like through failing and iterating, and also very much learning by doing, and just getting stuck in and not really just see where you end up.
Right.
It's a very interesting journey, and that I think for me is critical making, because
Yeah. So a deep dive in the unknown, learning by doing, failing often, etc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And keep that kind of goal in mind, and keep trying. Do not give up.
Yeah, good one. And Ocean, how's that for you? And could you highlight why do you think the culture part is so much highlighted in this maker culture?
So I think it's a different mindset than most people are used to learning. At school, for instance, you get a lot of academia, a lot of learning how stuff has been done in the past. And it's a journey to take on something new and try it out. And it's tough. And it takes courage. It takes someone by your side saying, just try it out, just do it. Maybe do a couple different versions. And I think the culture is also in the learning how to deal with when I fail, what do I then do with it?
Yeah.
It's not bad to fail, but people have been learned that for a while now. So don't be mad if you fail. You'll get there eventually. And if not, it still is better than probably 95% of people trying it not.
Yeah.
So I think it's doing it, trying it, and also having some people by your side saying, yeah, this direction would work.
And so if you
Also would like to add something to that. I think it also is in the connection of with other people from different walks of life, that you get that kind of that something happens that wouldn't normally happen, I think, in critical making.
And is that also something that you practice yourself then? So what are the things that you take from maker culture that you really live by? Is that looking for people like you were just mentioning? For that connection?
Well, I was more introduced by it, actually, many years ago, kind of per chance, and then it kind of happened.
Please hold it like this.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Then it kind of just happened.
Yeah.
And I think it's also very much visible in the Makers Lab itself, right? Something that you observe very much through everyday work with different students, also our trainees. This community that is coming to life, helping each other, building stuff together.
I think you definitely see because your trainees are, of course, from very different nationalities, walks of life, everything. You definitely see them really develop. They come into the Makers Lab really wide-eyed, like, oh my God. But they leave basically working together, and yeah.
Well, you have some really fancy
Very
machines,
interesting.
so that's also one of the reasons. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
How's that for you, Anneke? What do you take from that maker culture that you really live by and see in your own work?
I had to think of, in the sense, the connection part definitely resonates. It's like, and the multidisciplinary. You make more beautiful things when you do it with different people. But I also had to think of making, in a sense, culture in a sense that it's so human, and it's something that we've been doing for ages in some kind of way. We start with it when we're kids, we play, we make things without thinking about it, and somewhere along the way, some people get a bit lost or get into it. But I think it's very universal in that sense. That's what sparked, and that's also, I guess, what relates to me. If I personally speak, am I a maker? I'm not sure, but I'm a human, so I am a maker, kind of. And it's, I
have a follow-up question for you.
That's sort of.
So you're a human, so you're a maker,
Yeah.
and that made me think of the kind of famous phrase: "We are all designers." A lot of design people, they use that. Are we also all makers then? Is that what you're saying?
I think we can be.
And what does that mean?
Yeah. I don't even know if we're all designers, but I think making is a very innate thing in ourselves, a very human, and sometimes, and there's definitely different maybe levels or stages, or I don't want to degrade the maker culture and the identity of a maker, because you can also learn from it and practice it, and I wouldn't be able to do the things Olivier is able to do in the Makers Lab, for example. So we're not the same maker, I'd say. Yeah.
So why do you think, is it a field? Why do you think that something so fundamental is a field at all? Shouldn't we just all be taught to be makers, or? You can also pass the mic. Eh?
Yeah, I thought maybe that's something for Olivier to
Also,
shed his light
if
on.
anyone in the audience has the answer to the question, this is very much an open conversation.
Something as fundamental like that, why is it practiced at all, right?
I think what you are trying to say is kind of like you need to play around and experiment all your life. And if you remind yourself that you're all a maker or a designer or whatever, though designer may be too fancy a word, but you get to play around and experiment all your life.
So you need
which is to
room
remind
for
yourself
that. You need
of
space for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you need to create or take that space or create it.
Yeah. And that's what we try to do here, at least, right? Ocean?
I cannot say no now, right? No, yeah, definitely. And I think what you lose down the way might be a bit of confidence. So I don't know who of you know David Kelly, but if you ever read a book, David Kelly is awesome. He's the founder of IDEO, and he also wrote a book about creative confidence. And I think that is the stuff that people lose and then think they are not able to make because they're great at something else and then being thought that their sketch isn't nice or the thing they made isn't perfect. And that's not the point of making. But if you get told that every time you make something, you start to believe it. And I think that's something you should not do. So every time something, I had a team, they know who they are. And on Monday they said, Ocean, we're going to fail today, so that Wednesday everything will be ready. And I love that.
This is interesting. I actually wrote down a question that talks about confidence. I'm going to read it out loud. This resourcefulness that comes with experimentation, like we just discussed, also has an effect on our confidence in the world and decreases insecurity. Well, we're on the same page there. So can you draw an example from your own work that kind of shows this?
Definitely, because I have studied design. I'm not sure if everyone knows, but I studied design way back. And I got the question back then, do you want to do UX design? Do you want to do development? And I said, I want to do it all. And then they said, that's not possible. And that held me back a little bit. Because I was like, why not? And then people were like, no, but in a job you have to, specialize in something. And I said, that's not what I want to do. And maybe that is weird, but in the end I found my own way. So I found a way where I know how to code, I know how to make pixel art, I know how to draw, I know a lot of things. I can fix my own toilet, which I love. That's great stuff. Practical skills are also good.
You can stop by my house very soon.
Great. Well, I have some tricks.
Dishwashers? Anyone?
But I think, some people will tell you it's not possible, and then you have to just say, no, I can. Anyway, even if you tell me not to.
Hey, and Anneke, I know you traveled all the way to England to actually go deep dive into the most fundamental parts of making, right? Bushcrafting and all those things, survival techniques. How do you relate that to this?
We made a lot of fire, yes.
Yeah.
So that's also, I think, my entrance into this topic is that it's, those are very, very basic skills. And maybe we don't need them anymore in that sense, but maybe we also do need them to feel human again. Yeah. And I'm not saying everybody should go out and sleep out and make a fire by themselves.
But for that kind of confidence that,
Yeah, also to feel like we can take care of something, which is similar to fixing a toilet or to make something that you have in your mind and it's not there yet. To me, those things are very much related.
Is that something you also highlight in the Makers Lab? Do you get people only on the higher levels of making, or do you also want them to know the basics and the drills at home and
You mean the skills at home, or you mean the basics of the
all
Makers
of it,
Lab?
Right? So do you also want them to go
'Cause that's
first
kind
back
of
to the
what I have
basics
to
and
do,
then come
but,
back to your lab with the fancy machines? What's that? What's the relationship between that?
Well, I like to fix things in my home, yes, but not to everybody's liking. But yeah, I don't know. I like it when students or trainees from the DSS they know the basics and they develop from there. And then yeah, my specialty lies more in weird combinations. The weirder, the better. I would say for me.
Maybe this is a good point to ask the trainees how they experience this process of making and experimentation. I see some faces here, and I remember a chair of VPRO. So I'm going to bring the mic to VPRO. Mahdiar, how was this maker's mindset for you when you stepped into the walls of DSS, entered the Maker's Lab downstairs? Could you share?
Yeah. First, we learned many things. The first thing was, the most important thing was kill your darlings. That was the first thing I learned about. Yeah, you come up with an idea, you're trying to make it, but you shouldn't be too strict about it. And first we made a chair. The teamwork. Then it was. I always told my teammates that, trust me, I'm an architect. But then
you brought that confidence up already. Like maybe inside you were like, oh, I don't know.
But I saw at first how successfully we failed. And then I realized that how I can trust them. Beside the making things and iterations, you're making some invisible thing. So the pillars was only for the chairs. It was for our connection and team.
Yeah, so it also brought you together through the act of making, right?
Exactly.
I would like to ask you to pass the mic to your right. To someone who is familiar to Hogeschool van Amsterdam in many different aspects. So you probably experienced making also not only here at DSS, but also upstairs at our colleagues at the Master of Digital Design.
Yeah.
How is it for you to participate in maker culture?
So I would say I lived in a lab in digital design for 2 months for a project. There wasn't a Maker's Lab those years, like 3 years ago. But since the Maker's Lab opened, I was so happy because I think visualization is something, externalization is something else. But that you can talk through the objects. That's the thing that we do in DSS at the first by making the conversational object. And I think it's the power of making without talking. The objects itself, they will talk for you. So I think that's the most important thing for that.
Thank you.
Is there a partner in the audience that would like to share how they experience having a prototype presented to them? Maybe during the first meeting or at the last meeting that made a certain impression?
Or difference.
Wow, everyone is so shy.
Shy.
Oh,
yeah, there we are.
Okay, I'm going to try and throw. Can you hold it, please?
Of course, or I can throw.
Okay,
but you can throw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's a pro. He did last time.
I think one of the most exciting experience I had as a partner is that I came away from a meeting and I was completely surprised about what I did. Because I have a good grasp of what my project should be and the end product of that project should be. And then they did something which I never was thinking about. And it was actually a really excellent solution to some of the problems that I had when I was thinking about this project. And I think to me, that's one of the most exciting moments that can happen, is that they surprise you, and in a very good way.
And that object was the start of you also rethinking maybe the solution.
Yeah. So I think the solutions that they came up with are contributing to the sustainable product in a better way than I could think of myself. And of course, that's why I'm happy to be a partner, because I know that their input, even though they are in a learning process, still benefits my project in a very significant way. So yeah.
Nice.
Perfect. Thank you.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna try and catch it. Oh.
Yeah, I wanna go and
Too
dive
late.
into no, and not throw it.
Okay.
Dive into a personal experience that you mentioned when we were discussing this topic. Well, going back to your grandmother, even, right?
Oh yeah. I need to think what I mentioned. So when we discussed the topic of how to even present the maker's culture and critical making, I was drawing from my personal experience of my grandma, because when I come from a family of teachers, and my grandma used to teach history in a small village that I'm from, but next to it, she was also teaching. We call the subject labor, which is not the right translation to it, but basically you learn skills like sewing, going to the farm and seeing how the stuff is done, participating, planting trees, etc., but also understanding how certain mechanisms work, maybe taking apart a watch or stuff to seeing how the wheels are turning and trying to bring it back together. And then I was also taught through her experiences that, and I see it now when I have my own house, how I can basically translate it. And also being not afraid of opening up my washing machine and seeing what actually goes wrong in the filter, etc. But what is most important learning for me is how these skills are so transferable. Because the moment you stop being afraid of things in front of you, just not being afraid of breaking them, you kind of open up yourself to many opportunities and surprises. And this is what is so beautiful for me personally about the maker culture, right? The moment you face the sticker machine at the maker's lab, suddenly going to the Rizzo printer or trying to do laser cutting becomes way less scary, because you already know, okay, if I manage this, it's just one step further. And then, as you say, then you can start doing more wacky things, experimenting with materials, taking it a step further and further and further. So I would love to encourage everyone also present here to get this courage, to just play with things, try things, starting from small and just continue.
So shall we ask our panel then what they think? Do we need to have like an educational system or programs like your grandmother followed, or even yourself, right? I mean, I only got handarbeit. That was not much. I know how to clay a hat. So on that level, right? So what are you hoping for? What do you think, Anneke, that we need to actually get that creative confidence, get that maker culture actually more as a fundamental part of our lives?
I think there's many ways to get there. Luckily. But there's definitely something in the being able to take on a challenge and fix it and not solve it. Maybe you take something apart and then you aren't able to put it back again. But that's not what it's about. It's about what you then learned and that you maybe next time can do a step further and do a step better. And it's very easy to be nostalgic, I think, and say, oh, yeah, if I could, I don't know, I'm always at the things my mother can still braid or whatever. But I'm not sure if this time needs those type of skills most essentially. And I think there's something, it's about the confidence and having the confidence and also making the connections and being able to create a conversation that involves everybody in the same way and understand the language that you're speaking. And I think making or having an object or something tangible in there makes it easier to be clear what we're doing and where we want to go together. I don't know if that's
Nice. No, yeah, it makes sense. Ocean, if I think you're a technology enthusiast then.
Yeah.
AI. So I mean, if I can't fix the dishwasher, I'm asking ChatGPT. And actually, I get quite far with it, or YouTube tutorials, right? So what?
Yeah, no,
what is
I had a former colleague.
We're not nostalgic then. We're looking at the future.
No, I had a
What
former
can we do?
colleague that tried to use GPT for everything. So he did just the whole week.
Yeah.
He just tried it for every problem he run into. And actually most of it got solved, which I found interesting. But again, I think it also had to do with him, right? So it's not that GPT gave him exactly the right answers, because that's not what happens at the first go.
No.
But it did give him a direction to start. And I think maybe, like I mentioned, I think the couple things that you need to keep and not leave your behind somewhere during your life is keep trying new stuff, even if you suck at it. The point is not to be awesome. The point is just to do it. And also, if you're stuck, that's something I teach to everyone. When you're stuck, make something. Don't get stuck in your brain with the thinking and the trying to crunch the problem down or trying to grasp the problem. There's such big problems, you cannot grasp them. Only trying to grasp, you need to have 4 PhDs to do that. That will take you like 20 years. You can also just tomorrow think, let's at least try to do something. And I think if you get that into your brain, like the mindset of trying it out, also with new tech, it's intimidating. Yes, GitHub is not amazing to learn, by the way. But there's people that know. You can ask them, and Dwayne knows. I know a little bit, and if not, I can Google really well, and I'll figure it out.
Nice. How's that for you, Olivier? How do you're in the middle? So is your
question? Did ChatGPT also give your friend Did ChatGPT also give your friend the confidence to actually do those repairs to the washing machine and stuff?
It could be.
I think so.
I think if you've never opened up a dishwasher and then someone tells you how to, or you find a way how to, maybe you're like, okay, let's try it, you know. And if you don't have the starting point, that's the empty canvas dilemma.
You show it a picture, and at least you're not taking apart everything because it will tell you where it is.
Yeah, or at least you know it would be somewhere there, or it would be this, and it narrows it down because the big blank canvas is intimidating, even for makers.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
How are we in time?
I think this is a very good moment to also wrap it up, but I feel that also your answer pointed as that, okay, we need, if we want to get confidence, it doesn't necessarily need to come from the within. It can also come from external sources, be it at ChatGPT or the community that you are part of, right? So people around you that can come to the machine and the Makers Lab and be like, yeah, maybe press this button, then it's gonna work. Or have you tried? What if? So I hope that also today you'll walk around after the talk show and get inspired by all the creations, ask how they were made, and this will be the first push to making your own thing as well. Thank you so much, our wonderful panelists, for this discussion.
Yeah. Big round of applause. And if you want to reach them, Anneke van Woerden, Olivier Oskam, and Ocean Konijn.
Yeah.
Okay, look them up. Ask ChatGPT. They're here to help.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And DSS is also the community of makers. We are the good place to start your exploration. And our team is a team of makers as well. And today, we have to say goodbye to one of those makers, Marco.
Yes.
Can you take the spotlight?
Yes. So, yeah, I told you it's my 22nd. On the 22nd, I thought that's a nice moment to say goodbye. I have a few artifacts. I want to share a little bit of reflection first on how I got here. And how we started the DSS, what my vision was behind it, and it's not my own vision alone, right? So I arrived at the HVA after some entrepreneurial work as a designer and as a website company owner. It was a long time ago. And I came here and I met Gijs Gootjes. Where is he?
He was just there.
He was here. He's always somewhere. Oh yeah, there in the back. We had a really nice click, and he was running the media lab over here in the Studio HVA, just here below at the square. Beautiful space, also very open. We had a lot of showcases there as well, really exciting. And he ran a lot of interesting projects, and it was very experimental. So he did a lot of really interesting work with students at the time. And he wanted to become more of a design lab. And that's what we started talking about. And that's when we came up with the design method toolkit. And it's kind of a game changer. It was a game changer for me because I was working with companies on trying to help them with innovation. And usually I did that through workshops, tools, methods that I introduced at the companies. And this was the first time that we decided to kind of wrap things together and make it into really tiny, and this was of course very special at the time. Now you think, oh, cards, one of those toolkits. But we had a lot of methods that were very relevant for designers, for innovation teams. And we thought of a way where the instruction would be very clear for you to actually follow, to work in a team and follow these methods and work together and also work towards certain outputs. And this became a huge success. So we started spreading them and distributing them to places all over the world. We also had an online version that was really visited a lot. And
it's still there.
It's
so
still
if
there.
You need a design method toolkit,
designmethodtoolkit.com. And what the side effect was that a lot of questions came to us. So what's the process around it? How do you implement that? And we started building a program around it. Much more a design program than just doing projects. And that's where it became interesting. We created the manual. I wrote that thing, I think, 10 times at least or something, like made iterations. And we had the design method toolkit, we had our program, we had a very nice, interesting, agile way of working. So a lot of things came together. So learning, design, technology, experimentation, and those partners that came with real questions, with real challenges. And that mix, was really interesting for a lot of people. And but of course, Amsterdam was very small for us, right? We started traveling when there was no shame yet about that. And we started going to places and building programs, for example, the Design Across Cultures program, where we introduced different teams from different places in the world. Like we had a team in Bangalore, we had a team in Tokyo and a team in Amsterdam. And they had to work together through these methods and exchange ideas, exchange solutions, exchange also insights from those methods. And we started noticing that they differed a lot between cultures. So that was really interesting for us. Okay, so we have the methods, we have kind of a common language that we developed, but what can we do now? What can we do with those cultural differences and multidisciplinarity about it? And then Gelijn Meijer, who unfortunately is not here due to personal reasons, he's currently the president, director of the University of Applied Sciences here. He gave us an assignment. He said, I thought of an interesting name for something new, something fresh, something that the city is waiting for. We are lacking digital talent, and we need your creative minds with all those programs, international focus. Can you do something with Digital Society School? And we got like an A4 paper that he sent to us, like, hey, can you do something with this? And we thought, oh, this is a bit boring, that A4. He's not here, so I can say that.
It's pre-recorded.
Let's make it big. And we were still very enthusiastic about, traveling and dreaming big. We said, oh, let's make something big. So that school, that means that we can actually build something, Digital Society. Yeah, digital, of course. We're working already with digital tools and design methodology. And society, all those societal challenges, all those transformational challenges that are coming up now and that everybody wants to tackle. Let's mix that and make a super difficult model around it where we have trainees, where we have leadership programs, where we have projects. And at the time, we even have tracks where we said from trending to ending, we pick up the most trending tech and design focus points from society, and we work on that for 3 years with a group of people. So we grew and we grew, and at one point we were 35 people. But I'm going a bit too fast, because what happened first was that we made this plan. So that was the first step. Full of circles and interesting pieces. I remember a lot of discussions, Gijs, that we had around, for example, this visual, the tracks, who's in the track, and what kind of people, what's the business model. Oh, that's my alarm.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, but it's just to know that we are good on time. So all of this together, started making sense on paper. And the municipality had confidence in it, and they gave us a grant for 10 years. And the project would be running 10 years, and then we would get the grant for 5 years, the funding. And it made at least, everything possible that we started. So that was in 2018 in January. So exactly 7 years ago that we really started. And we grew. And then we had the program, we had all of these ambitions, and we had the international focus, and everything came together. And it was a very exciting time. And we built that, I think, for at least 7 years now. And one of the persons that supported us most is Frank Lesin, who actually stepped in. And please come to the stage. I want to talk a little bit with you about the DSS. When Gelijn stepped up from being a dean to being the rector, this wonderful person came in from the design lab in Twente. So we thought, this is exciting. Someone who will understand us completely is coming in, and we actually already visited you and showed you the plan. I just want to reflect a little bit with you on how was that for you when you dove into, I think we were already 1 year old by then?
Yeah, it was actually super exciting. I think we are University of Applied Sciences. So our main gist is to have programs, bachelor's, associate degrees, master programs. And then we had the Digital Society School, and that is a different kind of entity. It's an entity, I think, that tries to be at the pace of the time, bring people from outside in, much more even, so very internationally oriented. Try to give them some skills that they can use to top up their existing skills. So it's lifelong learning in a sense. And it, like you said, it was huge. But it also was looking for a focus, I think. Yeah. And together with Gijs, and it seems very strange that you're sitting there, not just here, Gijs. Kom je bij of niet? Wil je dat doen?
I have a few slides later that I...
Ah, perfect. So then we will wait for that. But actually, and then we also had Julian, who was there in the back. Yeah. So and together with a wonderful team, I think, there was not 1 year that was the same as the others. So you just talked about
1.5 year, I would say.
Oh, you didn't tell me. No, but I think you talked about critical making and how important it is to iterate, to make something, to try it out, and to reiterate, and never be. You will never be at the final stage. No. And I was super proud and respectful for you to be able to make that change possible every year. So, and even maybe every half year. But at the core, something changed, and that means that you, with this very nice team, you're able to set off it's about it's about skills, but it's more about attitudes and mindsets and passion. And I think, I don't know, who is the trainee here for now? Who was the trainees this time?
Trainees, can you please raise your hands?
Can you please raise your hands? Yeah, maybe
we have 30-something here.
There are also some in the back.
There are a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I hope, and I see that what you've learned here is not just like, hey, we have this toolkit, and if you just apply it, you'll get there, and whatever. The second iteration will be the best one, or better than the first. Yeah. No, it's like, it's somehow kindling this passion, your authentic, somehow leadership, or maybe your calling. You try to find your calling, and then you find a team, and then you have these methodologies, and you have the network, and you have the courage, and you have the attitude. And I think this attitude is far more important than anything else that you've learned here. And this attitude was fueled by you, and by you. So that was super interesting, and also I feel very humbled to be able to work with you in that sense, because somehow the Digital Society School and what you brought is the same. Yeah, I think that's the best that I found. And I also want to thank you hugely, because it means that your creativity and your ability to move out and to try something else was never compromised. And for that, I would like you and me to give you a big hand, because I think that was exceptional.
That means a lot. Oh no, really?
Oh yeah, Marco.
Maybe you have to take it.
It's because usually I get like punished when I'm overtime. This happens a lot, actually.
Today we give you some slack.
Yeah.
It's an important day.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Frank. I mean, you have been our mentor, supporter, sponsor for so many years, and it's been wonderful to work together.
Thank you.
And I think we wouldn't have been here without your help also, without your support. So also big round of applause for Frank. And from a distance also to Gelijn. Yeah, also to Gelijn. And we wish him well. I also want to talk a little bit with Jeroen. Jeroen, you want to come to stage? Yes. Hey. So Jeroen is our new director for the Digital Society School.
Yeah.
He has been here already for a while, so taken up a lot of responsibility already. But now this is really the moment to give the baton to you and yeah, give the baby that we kind of raised to a certain level to you. And so how do you see the future with the legacy and the things that we started?
Without you guys, I don't know. No, it's going to work out. I'm very confident about the future. I think, yeah, there is a very good funding at DSS. There has already been a lot said about the makers culture, about making tangible things, about working in iterations, and yeah, I think we need to keep on doing that. But also what Frank said is, we also need focus. You also need focus on what we're doing and how to create and make the iterations worth it. And I think that's what we're going to do the next 2 years. We have a great new team, or not totally new, but of course, as you said, we said goodbye to a lot of people who are still here and still like to come here. Also, luckily, thanks to you and to Gijs. Where's Gijs now? Oh, you left the building?
No, he's there preparing his slides.
He's preparing the slides, yeah.
Something I didn't know about.
No one knew.
No, and yeah, the future is, for now, is consolidation, which is perhaps a counterpart of innovation, but I don't think it is, because we consolidate in the methods we already use. And the methods are still the same. The mission will be still the same. We still strive for shaping a better and a newer society. And these things will still be on top of everything we do. That will still motivate us.
100%. Yeah, I'm very confident that you will do a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeroen.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good luck.
Before I leave, I just have a few words for you.
Yeah,
oh, that's okay. Or you want to finish your story first?
No, it's quite unscripted, so please.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say farewell to you. I have a present from you, and it's also from the team. I like working with you a lot. I learned from you a lot as well.
Thank you. Yeah.
So thank you for that. I also remember, that we had discussions a lot, but also with Gijs, and the Gijs and I are a bit more hot-headed, I think, than you are. But you always came in being silent during the hot-headed discussions, and then you came in and said, "Hey guys, and take it easy. You neutralize the things with your arguments, and even the arguments sometimes were like." I think you already agree with each other. Why are you still discussing? So, and that helped a lot. I thank you also for your kindness and how you worked, but also for your tenacity and how you keep things going. And
thank you.
Yeah. only have gentle words for you. So
thank you.
say
Yes.
goodbye to you.
Yeah.
Turn
Thank
the
you.
next page. Go on.
Give me a hug. I have to be careful because you.
Okay.
You just got operated. Oh, thank you so much.
This is for your next journey.
Ah.
So
yes.
enjoy it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I will open it later.
Turn
Yes.
the page and
Thank
do
you.
things with love. Huh?
Thank you so much, Jeroen. And I just want to show one more thing. This is kind of a thing, a legacy, a tangible thing that I leave behind. It's our Digital Society School playbook, Transformation by Design. It has all of the methods, the process, and the ideas and the vision behind it in it. It's outdated already, I heard from the team, but that's great. That's what it's supposed to be. It actually has a lot of pages where you can write in, and perhaps some things that you don't agree with. But that's what it's for. And I look forward to still keep it very close to my heart also, just like I do with the DSS.
So maybe I need to spoil that token of appreciation is the code that can get you a free version of the playbook. So you will be able to experience it yourselves.
It's quite a costly one, this one. Yeah.
We love our community.
Yes. Thank you so much. There's another thing. Yes. We can do it now if you want to. Yeah. This is such a weird birthday. I'm pointing to my own presents.
And maybe, Gijs, I
Yes.
can already ask you to come closer as well.
Yeah. Frank is first.
Yes.
Shall I? Yeah. It's a ceremonial thing. So it's kind of... it represents something new I'm going to do. Creative methods matter. The story behind it is that it started with creative methods. I did a lot of podcasts for the DSS. One of the things that I really love to make things also myself. And this is my new venture, Methodic. And what it does is it creates session plans, it generates creative methods, agendas, templates, everything for facilitators to make their lives easier. It's not for the people that are pros on a certain level, because they will think like, oh, I got this, which is fantastic. But this is for the people just below that, right? So that they want to save time and they still want to be fed with something that is experienced from our experience, and at the same time also uses AI for the benefit. So it would be nice to. I think there's a plugin. I wanna plug it.
Oh, it even works. Ah.
Yes, because then we can take a nice photo of it. It's not there? Oh no.
Yeah, it's in there.
Oh, it's in there. There goes my glorious moment.
Yay.
Let's unpack it. And I'm sorry this is taking longer than we need. The alarm has been going twice. But it's hard to say goodbye. You know how it is.
Oh. Zo, kom maar op.
3, 2, 1. My new life.
Here we are.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I had some really restless nights. It's super hard to say goodbye to such a nice community. And the good thing, news is that you don't have to say goodbye to communities, right? So I just say goodbye to the organization, and I'm going to do something new, but I'm not going to say goodbye to the community. Just like at the Studio Havia, if you look really carefully, you will still see imprinted Digital Society School from the stickers that they took off. That's also how I see my legacy here. I hope you, if you really look really closely, you see some part of me when I'm leaving. Thank you so much. Yeah. Dankjewel, Frank. Yeah.
All right, so now it's my turn to say something to you, right? So this is something I normally do not do. Mark was the guy in front of the house, and I was the guy behind the scenes.
Behind all the strings.
But I thought it would be nice to tell a little bit about a decade with De Madeira, his artist name.
You find me with hair?
I thought I'll find a picture that only Gemma knows, right? This picture must be...
She took it even.
Actually,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So sorry for not crediting you here. But I think this was the way you looked when you entered. And well, we talk now a lot about Digital Society School, about creative methods, etc. But I thought maybe it's nice if I give you guys also a few characteristics of Marco that you get to know when you work with him a bit more intensely. And I thought what would be a good way to do that? I found 24 heroes of you. But since you're already sitting for 2 hours here, I'm only going to take 6. 6 heroes with character traits, and probably you know them. And there's a gift with it. Maybe you can open this first.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much, Gijs.
Well, no, I already start because it will take
Yeah, please, yes, because I know this is also a set. Just people have to be very patient. Okay, the typical spiral from the stairs. Yeah. Ah, my hero, yeah.
First hero,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. And
this is from the famous soaring moment. I have a poster in my office with this.
I think we could also see him as a maker, because one of the things he said is, I cannot stand, I can stand when something goes wrong, when something fails, but not when it doesn't, when you don't try it. So I think this is something that fits to the things that we just discussed here. But it's also a trait for you.
But I never reached this level, so.
For the people who don't know, Marco, before he entered Digital Society School in his student time, he was a player, and still here at the Oosterpark we played a few times basketball together. So the next one. Steve Jobs. And I looked at all these character traits from Steve Jobs, but actually I don't think you look like him at all.
No.
But
well, I have this now.
The turtleneck, right?
The turtleneck, yeah.
The turtleneck is there, so I thought I need to bring it in. So the third one is...
Can you point to the screen?
Is it here?
Yeah.
Ah, you know this one.
Mr. Worldwide?
Mr. Worldwide.
Is that a hero of mine?
Well, at least the Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
Marco was the one here bringing in the international aspect at the Digital Society School. When we started, we had these plans of also creating an international program, but Marco also knew already people all over the world. So when we got in New York, for example, then he ran into people that he knew already from the design field. When we were in Japan, we were sitting in a meeting and somebody touches him on the shoulder. Hey, Marco, I know you from this. So he has friends all over the world. Before entering the Media Lab and the Digital Society School already, but I think in the phase where we created the Global Goals Jam, this was something that really made you Mr. Worldwide, and not only like Mr. Worldwide here, connecting cultures via music, but you using design to connect people.
Thank you, nice. NWA.
Easy E.
Easy E, yeah.
I also saw like a picture there with Pioneer. He is one of the pioneers. But I think one of the things that he has is a type of energy where he can move a full crowd. And also today he did that again with a very easy and charismatic energy, bringing people together and getting a flow. Then...
I think...
You know he's dead, eh? I mean...
I don't know.
Battery is
Frank Gallagher, I don't know if you know him. I don't want to compare you with Frank Gallagher. I don't think that is a compliment. But the actor, William Macy, is one of your favorites, right? And he brings a kind of talent where he brings in intelligence and humanity in one thing. And I think that is also something that you appreciate a lot.
Thank you.
Then the next one is the one that is related to the gift.
Ah, and, I can do that now.
And Bruce Mao has been an inspirer for us. Just like Donald Norman, I would say.
Yeah.
Donald Norman, a very modest guy. I think very approachable, just like you, also related to the trainees, always being there for them, very easy to connect with. But Bruce Mao also had something else, something a bit more energetic, a bit more inspiring, and I think the most important part there is the optimism that he brought. And I think that is something that that when you leave, that is something that I would like to hope that the community still fills that in, the optimism of Marco for driving a community And if we then have the next slide, it is what Bruce Mouse says about optimism is designers do not have the luxury of cynicism because cynicism is easy. But to be optimistic and positive, even under pressure or in a crisis, it just takes work. And that's the work of a designer. So where others stops, we see opportunity. And I think that optimism that Marco has brought here for at least 12 years, right?
Almost, yeah.
Almost
yeah.
12 years. I hope that the community here takes that optimism over and makes sure that, that it sticks here. And I would like to thank you a lot.
Thank you so much.
We'll be in touch.
Yeah, of course. Wow.
Thank you both of you. For
I'm
being,
a loss of words, so thank you.
Thank you both of you for being such an integral part of DSS. And as you mentioned before, even if you leave organization, you are still part of the community. This lovely community that we have here. And now we are ready to let you go, set you into the experience and exploration of the next part of the showcase. You will still have Marco around if you want to say personal goodbye to him in the space, so please find him. But right now, the talk show part is over.
Yay.
And we would love you to go around, explore, touch, see, hear everything, and talk to each other. Come up with new ideas, spark new conversations. And talk to us as well if you want to join DSS in one way or another. Thank you so much for joining us.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.